This is the plaintiff, Rose Henderson Peterson. She says she was transporting a horse for the defendant, and as she was loading it into her trailer, it kicked her. Her hand was split open all the way to the tendon. She had to go to the emergency room, then had to see a hand specialist. Turns out, this horse has a history of kicking people. The defendant failed to inform her of this, and he owes her every penny of the $2,154.75. She's out. This is the defendant, Don Conrad. He says he sold his gentle horse, Tessie, to a lady who made the arrangements with the plaintiff to transport her to her house. Tessie has never kicked anyone before. He thinks the plaintiff was a little too pushy with her, and that's why she reared up. Bottom line, Tessie was not technically his horse when she kicked, and therefore he owes nothing. He's accused of saying Neigh.
All parties, please raise your right hands. Be seated. Come to order, please. Litigants have been sworn, Your Honor.
Thank you, Douglas. Okay, Ms. Henderson Peterson, you're suing Mr. Conrad for $2,154.75 in medical bills that you incurred that you say are due to his negligence. Tell me what happened.
I'm part of a forum on Facebook where people will post questions or if they need help with horse-related things. And a girl contacted me and asked if I would help her haul a horse that she was planning on purchasing if she could get the horse home.
Okay.
And so we made arrangements for the day that I was going to go.
All right, now this is because you have a trailer?
Because I have a trailer, and she did not, yes.
Okay. But did you know her beforehand or no?
No.
All right. And so how did you communicate? Through email?
Yes.
Do you have those emails?
I do have those emails.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, so she hires you to go, and she was going to pay you what?
$100.
$100. All right, so you get there, and was she coming with you?
No, I met her there.
You met her there?
Yes.
All right, and so what happens?
So she, in the email, said the horse was a very nice horse. The horse was not naughty at all. It just hasn't had a lot of trailer time. Like, it hasn't been trailered a lot.
She tells you, is this on the telephone or in the text?
In the emails. In the email, she said...
okay, are these texts or are these...
These are all the emails between her and myself.
These are emails, not texts?
Yes. Via Facebook.
Oh, that's why they look funny to me.
Yeah.
All right. So she hires you for $100 to trailer the horses, right? And what, if anything, does she say to you beforehand about what it's going to be like? Because I see here, she says to you, the owner that I am purchasing the horse from said she may be tough to load. She capitalized may. And I will be of no help, and that was in all caps. I've never dealt with loading before. If this is a problem, I understand, to which you respond, no, it's fine.
Yes.
Okay, so what happens then? You schedule to do it on the 18th, and then what happens?
And then my son and myself meet her at his property, and my son sat in the truck. And by difficult to load, generally it means the horse won't go in the trailer.
Right. How do you get a horse in a trailer?
Most of the time you just walk the horse in the trailer.
And then what happens?
And then all three of us
Who's all three? Also Mr.
Conrad and myself and her are trying to get the horse in the trailer.
And how are you trying to get the horse in?
I'm leading the horse, and Mr.
So that means, so when you say leading, just so I understand, so you are inside the trailer, kind of trying to pull, and the horse won't come.
Right. So the general rule of thumb is if you have a horse that doesn't want to go in the trailer, you want to make her work outside the trailer, so when she's inside the trailer, she rests.
Okay.
And so I lunge the horse in the yard.
What does lunged mean?
It is, it's a long lead, and you make the horse go in
just to tire her out.
Just to work her a little bit, yeah.
Okay.
And then she still wouldn't go.
Okay.
So I moved, he has many little trees, like apple trees and stuff, where we were trying to load. So I went to a more open area.
Okay.
And once she started to go, she cow kicked. She turned to the side and cow kicked because Yeah.
Wait, what were you doing with her in the lead when that occurred?
I was lunging her.
Which means?
She goes out in a circle around.
But she's way far from you, and you're in the center of the, and she's going in the circumference of the circle, and you're right dead center. So I don't understand how.
I don't understand how she
and kicks you.
She stepped to the side.
Wasn't she really far from you?
She was.
And so then she kind of comes in and then just does a side karate kick at you.
It's called a cow kick.
So the horse kicks you and hits the hoof lands where? On your hand?
Yeah. It split my hand to the tendon.
Oh.
Yeah. Mr. Conrad said, I thought something like this might happen.
That's what he said?
Yeah.
I thought something like this might happen?
Yeah.
Okay.
And so I couldn't move. It was debilitating pain.
So what do you do?
I went and sat in my truck, and my son called my husband to come get me and take me to the emergency room.
Okay, all right. Do you have pictures of the injury?
I do.
Okay, let me see them.
They're not pretty.
Oh, I thought you might have it in actual picture form where I can see them a little bit
better. It's also on my phone.
That's fine. How many stitches did you get?
6. And a brace.
And you had to wear that for how long?
2 months.
All right, so obviously the horse did not get into the trailer.
No.
Right, and then that's the last you ever saw of these folks?
No, actually, the girl emailed me a month later, and she stated she was no longer buying the horse. She's a novice. She was looking for a kids and husband-safe horse, and has come to the conclusion that that horse is not so.
Right.
And she emailed me and said that Mr. Conrad wanted me to call him, and she thinks that he wanted me to come work with his horses.
Did you go work with his horse after this?
I brought the horse to my property.
How'd you get the horse on the trailer?
I sedated the horses. There was 2.
One of the 2 was this horse?
Yes, I sedated her.
Why didn't you sedate her the first time?
Because she's not a naughty horse. Why would she need to be sedated?
Well, why did you sedate her the second time?
Because she's naughty.
Okay. Mr. Conrad, let me hear from you. So you had the horse then with the horse that hit your hand. You had that horse with you at your place for how long?
For 1 week.
Why?
To teach it to trailer.
Okay. All right, Mr. Conrad, let me hear from you. What happened here? You had the horse sold to the other individual, and then she hires her to go pick up the horse. Everyone's there, and what happens?
I'd like to tell you a little bit about the horse.
Okay.
Okay, the horse was born in 1996. She was 18 years old, is 18 years old. And Mary Kate is the lady who made arrangements to have the horse hauled.
Right.
She had bought the horse. Okay, I had her money in my pocket.
Right.
Money changed hands.
What's the name of the horse?
Tessie.
Tessie. Okay, so Mary Kate had already bought Tessie.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, it was her horse.
Right.
Otherwise, I would have been making arrangements for the hauling and whatnot.
Right.
She spent 99% of her time on our farm where she was born. So I know the horse.
Tessie. Okay, right. Okay.
Yes. And when she was about 6 or 7 years old, I sent her over to be trained at a place called Cleellum, about 75 miles east of us. And she spent 2 months being trained over there.
So, but let's talk about this day. The horse is already purchased. Mary Kate has purchased it. Mary Kate is there, right?
Yes. Yes.
And the plaintiff is there, and you are there. And do you say anything to the plaintiff about this is going to be difficult because she doesn't trailer? She's never trailered.
I probably did.
Okay.
There's no reason why I wouldn't, because I was suspecting that, because she, like Rose said, she hadn't been worked with for 5 years.
Well,
and
and I know from the post by Mary Kate to her that you told Mary Kate that, and Mary Kate told her that.
Yeah.
While everybody's out there, what happens?
Well, the horse balked and wouldn't go into the trailer. So then, at that time, she said she wanted to borrow the lunge line, and I told her, I said, number one, Tessie will not work in a round pen, and I don't think she'll work on a lunge line. The trainer that I took her to over in Cleellum was an absolutely excellent trainer, and she's the one that told me that Tessie would not work in a round pen. I have pictures of a horse being worked on a lunge line.
Okay.
This is her sister, who is a full sister.
You're talking about the horse?
Same Same papa, same mama.
All right, so she asked for a lunge line.
That's it.
Okay, so you give it to her, and what happens?
So Rose took her out north of the barn, and I didn't go out there. I stayed on the south side of the barn, so I did not see. She started to work Tessie on the lunge line, okay? I did not see Tessie kick her.
Okay, so...
But Mary Kay did.
Is Mary Kate here?
No, I have an email from her describing the situation.
Let me see. Have you spoken with Mary Kate since this all happened?
Yeah.
Did you know she was going to write him an email to... Okay. I informed Rose that the horse may be difficult to load on the trailer. After several unsuccessful tries to get the horse to load on the trailer, Rose stated she was going to lunge the horse. Don informed Rose that the horse did not lunge and that he did not think it was a good idea to try. Rose claimed that she worked with difficult horses and she knew what she was doing. I witnessed the horse kick when Rose used the lunge line to whip the horse on the hindquarters.
No. That would be illogical.
Tell me why Mary Kate would lie about that.
Mary Kate got her first horse from him. They have history. So I have no idea.
Yeah, but she also worked with you and hired you and paid you $100.
Right.
So she's got nothing against you.
No.
She ended up asking for her money back, and you actually gave Mary Kate all her money back, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Right. And then you sold the horse to somebody else who's happy.
They're tickled to death.
Okay. Tickled to death. All right. So give me something to hang my hat on, because when I'm reading this,
I don't know.
Let me finish my sentence. I'm talking.
No,
because she is like very clear that she warned you the horse was difficult, that he told you I don't think lunging is a good idea, and that you whipped the horse, and that's when the horse kicked you. Why would she make up such a thing? That's such an evil thing to make up, to try to mess up your court case. What does this woman have against you that she would be this vile and make something up like that?
I don't know. I can't speak. She's not here, so I can't ask her.
Right.
But I do know.
Maybe you hit the horse in the hindquarters and that's how this happened? Maybe it's true that this is what she's saying? Is that possible?
I'm sorry. It's not.
All right. So if you have all this warning that you keep saying, well, it wasn't naughty. All right. You have all this warning that the horse doesn't want to be in the trailer, that the horse would be difficult to trail.
Right.
You're trying and you're failing at it. And then he tells you don't lunge it. The horse will not lunge. This is not something the horse wants to do. The horse doesn't want to do that. And then the horse kicks you while you're doing something he warned you not to do. Why is he responsible to pay your... First of all, your injury's awful. I'm sure it hurt like the dickens, and I know that you're out of pocket. But that alone, the fact that it occurs on his property, doesn't make a person liable.
Right.
It has to be his fault that it happened. What is your legal theory on why this would be his fault when the guy did nothing but warn you that the things that you were doing might not work?
Welcome back to the People's Court. RV11 here. If this defendant, if this guy knew that his horse tended to kick and didn't tell her, is he responsible to her for her injuries?
I think yes, because what's to prevent other people from not telling people that their animal is dangerous?
I mean, that's true.
No, not necessarily, though, because if she's trying to take the horse, I mean, the horse should kick her and injure her. If you
No. She's putting the horse in a trailer.
So, the horse don't want to be touched. I'd kick her, too.
Okay. You have a boyfriend, by the way?
No, I'm single, that's why.
Oh, got it. Okay.
I feel like if you know if your horse kicks, then you should be able to tell someone that the horse kicks so they can be able to defend themselves if the horse decides to kick them.
It would seem so, right?
Most definitely.
Wow. Going inside the courtroom.
He never stated that the horse was a kicker.
Is a horse a kicker?
No.
Did the horse ever kick anybody before?
Never.
Do you have any evidence that the horse kicked somebody
Never.
before?
I don't know that the horses kicked somebody
Right,
else.
so then your theory of liability cannot possibly be that he knew the horse was a kicker and didn't tell you.
He told us, my son and I, that the other horse, that horse that he gave you a picture of, is scared of the horse that kicked me because the horse that kicked me also kicks that horse 3 to 4 times a day. So he knows the horse is a kicker.
Okay, stop. You're saying that after the fact, he told you that the horse kicks other horses.
Yes.
Okay, talk to me about that.
Horse kicking a horse is not front page news. Horses do that.
Horses kick. How are you in a position where the horse kicked you? That's the part I don't get. Why are you in a position where the horse is able to kick you to begin with? I was kind of
don't understand how the horse reached me at the end of the lunge line. And
Go ahead. What did you want to...
She wasn't at the end of the lunge line.
Well, clearly not. If she was at the end of the lunge line, her leg isn't 25 feet long. I mean...
If you'll take a look at that picture, that horse couldn't kick her. The horse that's at the end of the lunge line, you can't kick from there.
Meaning that the horse is not at the end of the lunge line at the kick, of course.
Yeah, could I speak for a minute about Tessie? I happen to know her pretty well. I owned her for 18 years and took care of her about 95% of the time, and she never kicked me, ever.
Did she ever kick another human being?
Never.
Okay.
I have a grandson and granddaughter who took care of her.
Okay, I've heard enough. I don't need to hear anymore. Okay?
Can I say one thing?
No, we're done. I have a situation where you are warned beforehand that this horse may not load, that this is going to be a difficult situation. In fact, I don't want to put any words in anybody's mouth. I'm going to state it exactly the way you handed it to me. The owner that I'm purchasing the horse from said she may be tough to load, and I will be of no help. If this is a problem, I understand. No, it's fine. All right? Then I have a situation where you go there and you are saying, well, this isn't working the way we're trying it, so I'm going to lunge the horse. And he tells you, this horse doesn't lunge. I don't think that's a good idea. And you admit to that and you do it anyway. Then I have the third situation, which is really the clincher, okay, where I have the person who hired you, who has nothing against you, okay, who says, I witnessed a horse kick when she used the lunge line to whip the horse in the hindquarters. How on earth would this be his fault? And the answer to that is, it isn't, and my verdict in this case is for the defendant.
What a painful way to learn this legal lesson. What's your reaction to the verdict as it comes in here?
Mr. Conrad's a liar.
Why?
Why is he a liar?
Yeah,
I have no idea why he's a liar.
What did he lie about?
He's lied about several things.
Hey, you had some indication that the horse might be a little difficult from some of the communications you received. Didn't that cause you to take extra care?
It did.
And you did take extra care?
I did.
Yeah. Okay. All right, head right around the corner this way. So come on in here. Well, you're glad that wasn't your hand, aren't you?
I am.
You saw that hand, right?
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. But I don't think it would have been my hand. Because,
why not? How would?
Why? If a horse is being abused, if it's being whipped with a lunge line, you know, you're putting it in a position where it says, you know, I've got to do something. This is not normal for me. Mm-hmm. She was never whipped in her life. That's, as far as I know, that's the only time she was ever whipped.
Let's go out to the street. Harvey.
Here's the thing. If the defendant had no idea, and apparently that's the case here, she's responsible for her own injuries, especially if she is whipping this horse. Then she's asking for it, because then you have to guard yourself and make sure that the horse isn't going to do anything like that to you, and it's reasonable to think a horse might kick when you start whipping the horse.